NFC matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And he's got room. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. On second down, Cook. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Now, it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than say that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your #1 path to get in there, and they can get that done in this game.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Cook again. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Chiefs at 7 and 8 now on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
These two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Wilson.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And you know what else happened on that play? He just went past 45,000 career passing yards.
He's going to cherish that moment, but he's also going to celebrate it with so many different people. Guys he's playing with currently, guys he's played with in the past, especially offensive linemen who've kept him upright to throw the ball, receivers who've caught it. I mean, just so many people to embrace. And last but not least, a lot of coaches who call a lot of passing plays.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Hicks.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How they get in there and knock another one away. think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Wilson now to throw on third down. He finds his man complete. It's Hicks. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. Two guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Throwing is Wilson. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. First and 10 as this new drive starts. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. That catch is number 819 of his career. It ties him with Hall of Famer Steve Largent,
who did things largely below the radar. Not this guy. 819 catches, that speaks loudly and volumes.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. L'Jarius Sneed up to make the play defensively. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak. It's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And some room to roam now. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 78 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Second down throw coming by Willis. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
It was Jamel Dean who brought him down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This time Wilson will throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Here's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Hicks. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
And that's a much-needed completion right there on 3rd down. Really a sigh of relief, isn't it? They're backed up deep. You know they don't want to give the ball back to the other guys with great field position. They needed that throw, that completion, that 1st down.
They'll try the wide side with Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Wilson.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
So 8 yards on the completion there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken in at the 22. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Let's go now.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 37-yard line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And he's got a 1st down following a pickup of about 13 as we will take a pause here. Warning.
A gain of 13 yards. 1st down, Las Vegas.
Let's go.
And Chubb will try the middle here. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
At the Chiefs' 20-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go up the middle with Chubb. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Willis looking to throw it.
They set up the screen to Chubb. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game. And ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it. When he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And some room to work.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Jonathan Abram picks it.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends.
And this is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year.
And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now it's Wilson.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Troy Anderson applying the pressure and picking up the sack.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 35 yards that time on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Hicks. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Jamel Dean right there on the coverage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Lewis Cine. And the Raiders will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type...
Oh, Chubb fumbled it. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8.
Now Wilson.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
James Cook,
his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Chiefs take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And again, it's Chubb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, it's Willis.
He's going to look deep down the field. That's caught inside the 20.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
A great effort there. 70 yards.
And the Raiders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best...
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb.
Down inside the 40. Bobby Okereke making that tackle.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Willis.
He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Hurt! Right there, hurt!
Chubb on the counter, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
146 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
It's another 1st down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Cook. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
James Cook with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good use.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, and you have to get the ball back. Everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking up the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands. Whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Oh, a nice spin. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And this is Cook with the grab. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook.
He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 7, Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts an end to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner, work with me here because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again, well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Ready, set.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this